Well, hello, and it's Beasley the Wizard. Today I'm wearing the Griswolds. Well, you remember them, Chevy Chase, etc., etc. And today's topic is all about the full moon. Well, right now outside it's April 30th, and there's a big full moon. And it's a Scorpio full moon, and I was reading up on some of the astrology ideas about full moons. Some people have the idea that somehow astrology is a fake science and that there's nothing to it. And this is what I was taught when I was young. It was a garbage thing. It was some artifact of the past, and there's no truth to it, and completely ignore it. I don't know how you prove it, other than, sometimes they had those horoscopes in the local newspaper, little clips, and they'd give you like 2 or 3 lines for each of the different star signs. And I gotta tell you, they didn't make any sense. They didn't work at all. But there's been some very interesting things with some big lineups of the planets and things where, there's shifts of consciousness and so on. At least according to the experts who talk about it. Full moon fever, do people go cuckoo when there's a full moon? I'm going to say yes. I think that there's something to do with the full moon. I mean, the tides are on the planet are definitely affected by full moons. You get bigger tides. And, well, it sounds kooky because, you don't think of yourself as being related to tides. So I don't think it's tidal forces so much to do with the full moon. But, like people were saying something to the effect of, well, you're, 80 or 95% water. Well, that still doesn't make much sense to me. You don't build up a tide within your body because of a full moon. So that kind of thing is kooky and doesn't fly. But, it's maybe has something to do with the fields that we live in. The consciousness fields, and a lot of people have no clue that we live in different fields, invisible fields around us. And you can look into it. In another one of my videos, I talked about David R. Hawkins and his books Power versus Force and Transcending the Levels of Consciousness. He talks all about that the fields that you're in, that your consciousness fields affect you. And there's the Hooded Sage. .com, who talks about how you're affected by the people around you. And then there's Rupert Sheldrake, who's done a lot of research about morphogenic fields. So I would look into some of the things that these experts put out on the internet and educate yourself on some of these things that really are not taught in school at all. Our school systems are so far behind modern science, and no wonder we walk around in a daze because we just don't know these things. There's so much research. David Wilcock's books, if you look up David Wilcock on your local bookseller, the science that he quotes, it makes me go, what? But I don't have time to go and check out all this stuff, but the stuff he says, it's mind-boggling, the stuff that goes on. I'm not gonna say it's true or not, because I don't know. I haven't seen the research, and I wasn't there for the studies, but, he's pulling it from somewhere, and it's not what you're taught in school, whether high school or university, and I've been to both. It's not what's being taught, and the stuff, as I said, it blows you away. And, so if you want to get more updated, look up David Wilcock and read some of this stuff. And if you got time, do some of your research. But, mainstream schools are not teaching us what we need to know. And, the mainstream media, for the most part, doesn't give us the information. Then you got to go on the internet. And frankly, when I go on internet searches and look for things, I basically get, I'll get a bunch of hits, and I'll look at the first one and it'll say one thing, and then I'll go on the next one and it says the exact opposite. So trying to find out what truth is from the internet is, well, it's impossible. It's impossible. So there you have it, the state of our world, the wonders of the internet, and the fact that I think we're even further behind because of the internet, because of these fake news things, and the fact that there's I don't know if they're shills for certain people. In other words, people who are just promoting their point of view because they're going to benefit from it. That definitely happens. And there's great big entities out there that have got lots of power that can put out a big story and bulldoze the truth. There's no doubt about it in my mind. So it's very difficult to get real information about what's going on. It's the price we live for being where we are right now. The good news is that there's people like me that are out there trying to propagate some new ideas, some new thinking. And I think there's a lot more of me out there than there used to be. And so, be one of the people like me and, tell your friends about some of these things. I'm Bobby Burrows, Beasley the Wizard, and have yourself a wonderful full moon. Thank you so much.